we are going to be grading the Detroit Lions by position. Okay, so this video is going to be a little bit different than usual, but we've done a lot of graded videos in the past, a lot more on my old channel. But in this video, we're going to be looking at the Detroit Lions by positional group and grading each positional group. I think that's a great way to do it, especially throughout the offseason. Now, there's going to be a lot of question marks because a lot of guys you haven't seen because they're rookies. There's just a lot of question marks, a lot of holes we have to fill, so we're going to grade them. Now, you guys know that I'm more positive and optimistic than a lot of people are, so my grades are probably going to be a little bit higher than most people's. But I tried to keep it very realistic as I could. And here's my personal opinions on each single positional group, so let's get right into it. Starting off with the quarterback position, I gave the Detroit Lions a B, a solid B. Matthew Stafford is 100% our quarterback, and we're solidified there, so that's really why it's a B. That's the only reason it's a B. After that, Tom Savage is okay, I guess you could say. He's all right. He's not terrible. He's no Sean Hill. I like Sean Hill a lot better, but he's serviceable. And then David Fowles, I'm not really sold on at all, so I think it's okay. Really, Matthew Stafford is the one holding up that letter grade of a B, so that's what I give the quarterbacks. Now, moving on to the running back position, I gave the running back position an A-. Now, you may be like, okay, why is there a minus there? Well, I like Kerryon. He's solidly there. I mean, I guess you could question his health a little bit, but I think he's going to be fine. He should be fine. He said he was okay. He could have gained back last year if the Detroit Lions were in a playoff race. Obviously, they weren't, so there was no reason to. But after that, CJ Anderson seems like he's really proven himself in the league, but I thought LeGarrette Blount did. Now, maybe there's a little bit of a difference there, so I think CJ Anderson will be all right. I do like the addition of Ty Johnson, Zach Zenner, and Theo Riddick. We'll see what happens there. We'll see who makes the team. So I would say we have a solid backup core. I wouldn't say our number 2 running back is like off the charts great. I wouldn't say he's like a go-to number 2 running back. So I'd say CJ Anderson's all right. Kerryon Johnson is amazing. So I'm going to give them an A-. That's why they don't get an A or an A+. Next up, we have the wide receiver position, and this one is kind of hard to grade because obviously there's a lot of wide receivers. So I gave them a B-. I like our number 1 and our number 2 wide receivers. When those guys are healthy, I love our number 1 and number 2 wide receivers. I like Kenny Golladay. He's great. Kenny Golladay probably would get an A or an A+ by himself. Marvin Jones, a solid B player right now, okay? Solid B if he's healthy, a solid B. So they're getting a B- overall because the number 3 I think is okay with Danny Amendola, but then after that there's just questions. It's all around the board questions. Andy Jones is a question mark. Brandon Powell, Travis Fulgham, just question marks. Tommy Lee Lewis, all these guys are big question marks. Danny Amendola seems to be solidly that number 3 wide receiver. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. Hopefully he can hold that down. Now hopefully someone else actually comes up and is better. Hopefully that guy like Travis Fulgham or Brandon Powell takes over that position. We'll have to wait and see. But either way, I would say after the number 3 wide receiver, it's just a whole bunch of question marks. Now, there is some nice, talented young players here, but it's question marks, all right? So I'm going to give them a B-. I can't go any higher than that. Even though I'm super optimistic, I really can't go any higher than a B- there for the wide receivers. Now, moving on to the tight end position, I give them a solid B. Why is this not a higher grade? Because on paper, it seems like this should be a higher grade. You got Jesse James, who you signed this offseason. You got the 8th pick in the draft, TJ Hockenson. You got Logan Thomas, who seems like a good tight end. You have a guy in Isaac Nauta that you drafted out of Georgia who could catch the ball really well. Why in the world is this a B? Well, TJ Hockenson has not proven himself in the NFL, so I couldn't say, okay, this guy's outstanding. You can't do that. I don't care what pick he was. I can't say that. And much as I want to, and much as I believe he will be great, I can't say he's going to be one of the best tight ends in the game. So with that being said, now we'll move on to Jesse James. Now I'm still giving Hockenson a good grade because he was the 8th pick. He was outstanding in college. Don't get me wrong. Now moving on to Jesse James. He's good, but he really hasn't like blown up statistically. Now that could be how the Steelers used him. They didn't use him a lot. Either way, he hasn't really blown up statistically. Now we're hoping with the youngness, the 6'7", everything that he brings to the table, that he will be really big for the Detroit Lions. I hope he will as well. Logan Thomas, I guess you could say there's a question mark. Now, he's played really well this offseason, and that's why he's kind of solidified himself as the 3rd tight end. Still some question marks. Isaac Nauta had to deal with some rehabbing injuries. A little bit of question marks there. He's a rookie, obviously. So I'm going to give it a solid B. I like our tight end group a lot better than I did last season. So I'm going to give it a B for that. And this would definitely change throughout the season. Hopefully it goes up to an A because it definitely could. Moving on to the offensive line position. This one's kind of hard to grade as well. I'm going to give them a C. And I was thinking maybe lower. You could push a little bit higher. You could push a little bit lower here. I'm going to go right in the middle with a C. I'm giving the offensive line a C because I feel pretty confident. Rick Wagner's kind of questionable. You know, he's had to deal with some injuries here and there. I'm confident in Taylor Decker. I'm confident in Frank Ragnow. Confident in Graham Glasgow. I'm confident in those 3. Rick Wagner seems okay. So right there, it's probably a B. But then it's that other position. It's that one last position. Is it Kenny Wiggins? Is it Ode Ibushi? What is it? Who is that guy? Is it Bo from Wisconsin? Is it Ryan Pope? Who is that last guy? And most likely it's going to be Kenny Wiggins. Is it Terrell Crosby? We don't know. We think it's Kenny Wiggins. But even if we know who it is, I can't say I'm 100% certain, like, this is solid. So I have to give them a C because there is still a little bit of a gap there. But hopefully the Detroit Lions' confidence that they have, because they didn't go draft one, hopefully they had confidence for a right reason and saying, look, this is a guy. Like, we have a guy. We know who's going to fill in this position. We're confident we don't have to go draft any linemen because they did not. So hopefully that's a good sign. I give them a C, though, to start the season. Now moving on to the defensive line, I give this an A. Like I couldn't give any worse grade here than an A. This is outstanding. I love the defensive line. Overall, I love it. You got Deshaun Hand, you have Romeo Okwara, you have Snacks Harrison, you have Ashawn Robinson, you have PJ Johnson, you have Austin Bryant. The list goes on, and I absolutely love the defensive line. You have Trey Flowers, who we brought in this offseason. It's great. It's great. We have a lot of young pieces, but a lot of these guys have actually kind of proven themselves. Now, Trey Flowers has potential to prove himself even more as one of the best, like the elite pass rushers. Now, he's been good. He's been great. Hasn't been elite. He can do that with the Detroit Lions. Austin Bryant's a rookie, so I can't put a lot on there. Romeo Okwara played great last season. Got to give that to him. Snacks Harrison, proven, best run stopper in the league. Got to give that to him. So I think overall we have some proven guys. We have some young guys. We have a really good mix, a lot of talented players. I love the defensive line. I am most comfortable saying that that's the best position group on this team going into the 2019 season. That may change, but at least at this point, I would say that's the best positional group. Now, looking at the linebacker position, I give the Detroit Lions a B+. I love the depth that we have at the linebacker position. I just don't know how much star power we necessarily have. We have Jared Davis, who I really like as a middle linebacker, getting better every year. We brought in Jelani Tabai, but again, he's a rookie. I can't say, and I know some people don't like him, but I can't 100% say this guy's going to be great because he was a second-round pick because we don't know yet. But I'll give him a solid grade because I do have some confidence in Jelani Tabai. Then we have Devon Kennard, who I like. You know, you have guys like Jalen Reeves-Maybin, who I'm not sure is going to make the team. You have Christian Jones in there, who is a solid linebacker. So we have a lot of solid guys. Now, we lost out on Eli Harold, but we have a lot of solid guys. We have a lot of, good depth there. We have Trey Lamar, who we brought in from Clemson. We just don't have a star. I would say Jared Davis closest thing. Hopefully, Jelani Tabai is a star. And then the rest are solid. The rest are solid, and that's why I like it. That's why I'm giving it a B+. You may say that's high, but I don't think it is because I think we have guys to go to. I mean, heck, Austin Bryant can play linebacker. So I'm comfortable with linebacker position. There may be Miles Killebrew in that mix later on. We'll have to wait and see. I'm comfortable with it. There's just not a lot of star power. So, I mean, you can say B here. I'll go B+ because I'm positive. Next up, moving up to the cornerback position, I have to give this position, again, a C, and you can even lower this grade. You can honestly lower this grade, and I wouldn't fault you for that. Darius Slay, let's go to a perfect world here, perfect scenario. Darius Slay, you're going to play. There's no problems. You're a number one cornerback. Just like always, you're number one. Good. Solid. Number one. Don't have to worry about it. Then we move on to the number 2 cornerback, and you start scratching your head. Who in the world is our number 2? Is it Rashawn Melvin? Is it Teez Tabor? Is it Michael Ford? Is it Amani? Who is our number 2 cornerback? So saying, okay, it's Rashawn Melvin. If it's Rashawn Melvin, we know what he can do. He's a solid cornerback. That's what he is. He's not great. He's solid. Now, the number 3, I like Justin Coleman. He hasn't proven himself over time. He's been solid. He's been rated by Pro Football Focus as one of the best cornerbacks in the slot. I wouldn't say he has a lot of, stats to back that up because he's recently moved to the slot cornerback position, but I'm confident in him. And then you would have Teez Tabor, you have Amani. So we have some nice depth. We have some young pieces. But Teez Tabor has not proven himself. And I don't know if I love Rashawn Melvin at number 2. I like him at the 2, but he's not like a star, right? So I think the number 2, since there is such a big question at the opposite corner position, even acting like Darius Slay, we're in a perfect world, nothing wrong with Darius Slay, it's all good. There's still too many questions at that number 2 cornerback position to honestly say this is a good group. So with that being said, I give them a C. You could lower that if you wanted to. Now moving on to the safety position, I love this. I absolutely love our safeties. Now I'm only giving them a B because there are a lot of young guys and they still have to prove themselves, but I love this positional group. This may be my favorite positional group for the Detroit Lions. You got Tracy Walker who's stepping in here. You have Will Harris, a 3rd-round pick that I think a lot of people forget about. This guy's a stud. You have Quandre Diggs, who is one of the best players on the Lions. Like, as a whole, he's one of the best players the Detroit Lions currently have. He's great, and he just needs more love. We brought in Andrew Adams. I love that signing. A depth player. We have Tavon Wilson, Miles Killebrew, who are kind of on the border right now. But either way, I like the depth. I like the youngness. There is a lot of talent here. But again, they just need a little bit more time to prove themselves. So I can't go A. I have to go with the B. Now, moving on to that kicker position. I mean, well, I could say A. I'm going to say B+ because Matt Prater's age, but there's nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about at all. Matt Prater's clutch. Got to give him a B+. He may miss some bunnies, so that's why he's a B+, but he's still clutch. Now, moving on to the punter position, I love Sam Martin. I absolutely love Sam Martin as our punter. A B+ as well. Kick returner, punt returner. if everything goes well and Jamal Agnew is healthy, it's an A for the punt return position. It's an A+, right? Jamal Agnew is a great punt return. Now, kick return is a little bit different. I think we have talent there. It's just who is going to be that guy, because there's multiple guys who can do it. Julian Edelman can do it. Jamal Agnew can do it. Ty Johnson can do it. Multiple guys can do it. Brandon Powell can do it. It's just who is that guy going to be. So even if there is injury, we have to go to the depth. I'm still solid. I'm confident at, both the punt return and kick return position. I'll give the kick return a B right now because we really don't know. But that could definitely be moved up easily. That could be moved up for sure. But those are my grades position by position for the Detroit Lions. I don't think I missed anything. Linebacker, defensive line, safety, cornerback. Okay, I'm pretty sure I got everything in this video. That's just how I grade each position. You guys may say my grades are too high. You know what? You had to expect it coming in the video, right? What else were you thinking? It's my video. You knew I was going to have some high expectations. Let me hear your grades in the comments below. But please, think in a good, positive mindset. Anyways, thank you, Pride, for watching. And also, wait, before I leave, shout out to my guy, iMaverick. If you guys don't know who iMaverick is, or if you do know who he is, he had 1 million subscribers today when I'm recording this. Shout out to that man. He's been a blessing. So shout out to iMaverick. Definitely go out, check out his channel if you have not. Anyways, thank you, Pride, for watching, and I'm out.